Hello again, and welcome to our March 2024 edition of Quick Kit. Links to everything we mentioned will be down in the description below. Let's get into it. Earlier this month, some of the biggest news our industry has had for a long time was announced. Nikon's acquisition of Red. The deal isn't 100% complete yet, but Nikon has put out a press release clearly stating their intention, which is for them to leverage this acquisition to expand Nikon into the professional digital cinema camera market. Personally, I'm excited to see what this acquisition will bring for both camera systems. Red has done so much for the filmmaking industry since they burst onto the scene in 2005, and hopefully this acquisition will allow Nikon to harness the clear passion and drive the Red team has to expand both of their offerings. Regardless of what the future holds, thank you Red for everything you've done to push our industry forward. Let us know what you think about this acquisition in the comments below. Speaking about Red, they have finally started shipping their DSMC3 compact EVF, which is a very good solution for Komodo X and VRaptor users who want to use a first-party EVF solution instead of a third-party SDI-based one. It's actually a really nice EVF to use and can be rigged up really easily. They also released beta firmware 1.7.2 for the VRaptor and VRaptor X. This adds a bunch of new features and fixes, such as support for the new compact EVF, horizon and tilt video overlays, an updated proxy menu and functions, and a bunch more. It's available now via the link in the description below. Nikon has released firmware 5 for the Z9. This includes updated auto capture remote settings, separate settings for recalls for photo and video modes, more functions for function buttons, playback speed control, fine-tunable shutter speed control, and much more. It's available to download now on Nikon's site. Nikon also released the Nikon Z28-400mm f4:8 full-frame zoom. Canon announced and released new firmware for the now almost 5-year-old C500 Mark II. This new firmware brings new compressed RAW options to the camera, which we have seen before in cameras like the R5C and C70. This includes options for LT, ST and HQ recording, all of which are 12-bit but will change your data rate. It also means that you can now record the camera's maximum frame rates in RAW, which is a good change. It's just weird that it's taken Canon this long to bring something that's been in their other Cinema EOS cameras for a while to one of their flagship cameras. You can also record RAW in the camera's 4x3 and 6x5 modes. It's available to download now on Canon's site, link to which is down below. Fingers crossed we see this brought to the C300 Mark III soon, as it deserves this treatment too. And I really do hope that Canon bring out some new Cinema EOS cameras this year, as they've been pretty quiet the past couple of years. Quick little pickup here, as this was released as we were editing this video. Blackmagic have released an update to their Pocket Cinema camera line and Cinema Camera 6K. This is currently a beta firmware, but it's actually a pretty substantial update, so could be worth downloading if you own one of these cameras. You can now use the cameras as a webcam or UVC device. It brings an updated playback menu and adds clip deletion support, adds the ability to manage and update the camera via Ethernet, and adds Blackmagic Cloud, which is a pretty massive addition. We last spoke about Blackmagic Cloud when they first announced it with the Ursa broadcast, and it's great to see it come to these cameras as well. With this new feature, you'll be able to easily tether a phone to the camera and then send your proxies and original recordings directly to the cloud and into a Cloud Resolve project, which for certain workflows is going to be a game changer in cameras this affordable. The new update program is available on Blackmagic's site now, link to which is down in the description below. Sony has released new firmware for the Alpha 1, A7S III, A7 IV and A9 III. These are some very long awaited updates that bring some awesome stuff, and they are available to download now apart from the A9 IIIs, which is coming out next month. I've put links to all the individual updates down below, but I want to quickly go over the highlights. The A7S III has finally had a DCI 4K and 24p recording added. To get this, you'll need to download Sony's Creator app, where you can obtain the free license for it. You can record up to 60p in DCI 4K, which is nice. The Alpha 1 and A7S III both have Sony's breathing compensation mode added, and the manual focus override to switch subjects that other Sony cameras have had before. The A7S III also has a new video focus quick menu and can now have a red record frame enabled when recording. Overall, these updates look great, and I'm sure plenty of A7S III owners are going to be very happy. Head over to Sony's site if you want to check out the update yourself, links to which are in the description below. Cooke are now shipping their RF, L and M mounts for their SP3 lenses. If you are an existing SP3 owner, You can claim a new single or set of mounts for your lenses now on Cooke's website. You can choose between the 3 different options available, upload your proof of purchase, and Cooke will do the rest. This is awesome news, as it now makes these already incredible lenses even more versatile. If you want to buy any extra mounts past these free ones, you can do so via our website. If you haven't checked out our review of the SP3s, I've put the link to it on the screen now. Kessler has released the Cine Shooter Plus. This new motion control system is an upgrade to their already popular Cine Shooter. The unit itself weighs just 2.4 kilograms or 5.4 pounds and has a payload capacity of 6.8 to 22.6 kilograms or 15 to 50 pounds. It also now has integration with Unreal Engine without the need for a tracker. This could make it a really good option for virtual productions wanting to add some movement easily. It can be controlled a bunch of different ways and is available in 2 different bundles, standard or macro. We are super intrigued to check this one out, so let us know if you have any questions about it down below. If you want to keep up with the latest and greatest kit, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And if you want to buy anything you see in this video, head over to cvp.com where our experienced team is waiting to help you. Sigma have announced their latest lens, the 50mm f1.2R for Sony E and Leica L mount full frame cameras. It's very compact given its image circle and speed, weighs only 740 grams and has a 72mm filter thread. It also features a 13-blade rounded aperture which can be controlled via the declickable aperture ring on the lens and has a minimum focus distance of 40cm. It's priced at £1,299, which compared to the Sony 50mm f1.2 is quite a big chunk less. Fujifilm have released the Fujinon DUVO HZK 24-300mm. This is a modern broadcast lens that takes elements from their excellent cinema zooms and broadcast zooms. It's reasonably compact and lightweight given its massive focal range, reasonable maximum aperture and optical quality. It has a 1.5 times expander built in, which changes the lens's coverage between Super 35 and full frame, and it extends its focal range to 36 to 450mm. It also has a macro switch which adds to its versatility, and it has a new feature called BCT, which uses the servo on the zoom to correct focus breathing in real time, which is actually a really cool little feature, and it's toggleable via the dip switches at the front of the lens. It's priced at roughly £28,000, which definitely means it's going to be primarily used on higher end productions that require its fantastic blend of features. It's firmly aimed at documentary, sport and live events where you need a fast, adaptable lens with good optical quality and an excellent zoom range. PGYTECH announced their Create Mate, which is a media holder and card reader in one. And I'm honestly surprised that nobody has created something like this before. It looks like a pretty robust solution which, for more run and gun filmmakers and photographers, will be very useful. You can get 3 different versions which change what media it is designed for. An SD only option, and then one that can store and read CF Express Type A cards, and one that has been designed for Type B. All of the readers use USB-C, but the CF Express versions use USB-C Gen 3.2, whereas the SD only uses 3.1, which does mean that there is a transfer speed difference between the two. Given their pricing, they look pretty decent. We are happy to announce that we are the first reseller globally to offer the beautiful IronGlass Soviet Rehouse Mark II set of cinema lenses. The lenses have had a lot of press recently thanks to award-winning cinematographer Greg Fraser using them as the main set of lenses on the recently released Dune Part 2. These gorgeous lenses take vintage Soviet optics and house them in an incredibly well-designed cine housing built for the most demanding traditional cinema workflows. We put them through their paces in a video earlier this month, which you can check out here if you haven't already. Right, let's get into our quick-fire honourable mentions. Links to details about these are in the description below. 1A Tools has released a self-installable DJI Ronin 2 tilt stage upgrade kit. 7 Artisans have shown off their upcoming Sprite 24-96mm t2.9 cinema zoom. Axoon announced the CMOO 4K HDMI adapter. Adobe released Premiere Pro 24.2, and they also showed off their new generative AI tool for custom music and audio. Apple have released M3 variants of their MacBook Airs. Arri have released LAS 3 for the SkyPanel X, which brings a lot of cool new additions. Blackmagic released Resolve 18.6.6. Blazar have teased a new addition to their Remus series of anamorphics, a 35mm t1.6 1.5 times. Calibrite released the Display 123 monitor calibrator. Core SWX released their Nano X micro batteries. Flanders have released firmware 2.4.40 for their XMP monitors. FX Lion has released their BP-HP600 599 Wh V-mount battery. Godox have released the no-LED P600R and P1200R hard RGB LED light panels. Hawkwood have released a new hot swap plate for the Burano. Hollyland released a new wireless tally system and the Solidcom C1 Pro intercom headset system. Mica released their new 55mm f1.4 autofocus lens for Z, X and E-mount APS-C cameras. Miller has released the Solo Q Pod monopod. Nanlux have announced the FL35E motorized Fresnel lens for the 2400B. Logitech have shown off their new Micro Four Thirds interchangeable lens webcam, the Mevo Core. Pixotope released Pixotope Pocket for smartphones. Pomfort has released Realtime Pro. Shape have released their range of accessories for the Burano. Shimbal announced their new M7 monitor and Memory 7 Pro monitor recorder. Shure released their new MovMic dual-channel wireless mic system. Sony announced 2 new CF Express Type B cards and a bunch of new firmware. Teradek announced the Prism Flex Mark II and their new reliable transport streaming service. ThinkTank has shown off their latest series of wallets and holders. Tiffin released their new 58mm filter system for smartphones. Tilta released a new mini ball head mount and a series of universal bubbles. Vazen have announced they are unfortunately no longer in business. Voigtlander has released the Nocturne 75mm f1.5 for Canon RF mount. Viltrox released a range of PL adapters and teased their new LUNA 30-300mm T4 cinema zoom. YouTube has added an AI labeling feature. Zero Optic is now offering rehousing for the Pentax Super Takuma lenses. And last but not least, Xi'an announced the Cine Pierce CX100 and CM25 LED lights. If you enjoyed this, please make sure to subscribe ready for next month's Quick Kit, and let us know what kit you've picked up this month in the comments below. And thank you so much for watching.